Jaha, no niin. Se toimii. Terve ja anteeksi, että ollaan myöhässä. Oho, se tulee täältä.
Pistä mutelle sieltä.
Pannaan täältä ääni pois. Ollaan myöhässä tästä näin erinäisistä syistä, mutta ei mitään, nyt ollaan täällä. And we do this also in English. Sorry that we are a little bit late. We had some force majeure circumstances here. But here we go. I have here Henkka. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. My pleasure.
So this is our first Rock Camp live, YouTube live. And now we're going to have a little chat with you. And, you know, I don't have any specific topic here, but whatever about music, playing. And many of you might know that we had time that we played together. What it was, something like from 95
until
2003.
Yeah.
8 years.
8 years. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Because I remember that you were like, what, 14 when you...
94, I think I came to Alex's garage first time.
Yeah, that's true. So if you have any questions, please ask them here. You can put them on the comments if you want to have some questions about this from Henkka or whatever. And we have also here some teenagers that if you want to ask something, please do. We have there a spot asking chair for you if you want to have some questions about whatever. Yeah, piinapenkki. Torture chair. Yeah. Very good. Okay, Henkka. Nowadays, you are actually having a gig today here at Seinäjoki.
Yes.
And you are playing now in this band called Moonshot.
Yes.
So how did you get involved in that?
Well, it's when the decision of Children of Bodom ending was made, and then there was certain people knew about it, and then I had this guitar technician who had also been working for Disco Ensemble and also for Lapko, so he was also their friend. So one of the last shows in the summer of 2019, he came to me like, "Hey, I have a question for you," and then he asked me like, "Are you interested after Bodom? Are you interested in some new musical project?" And then he told me about Ville and Jussi and Mikko, and I said, "I don't know, but maybe I can have a chat." And then Ville called me 2 weeks later, and then he showed me the demos, and then I thought about it for a few days, and then I said, "Yeah, I'm in whenever I'm free." And then we started to meet like in the late 2019, and now actually this year finally we got something properly out.
Yeah, you released your debut album now.
Yeah.
And I listened to it actually on the way here when I drove very fast to Seinäjoki today. So it was, of course, it's totally different than what COB used to be, of course, but you know it's very well, you know, the soundscape is very good, I think, you know. And there are a lot of good guitar riffs and stuff like that. But how do you consider what kind of music it is? What do you say when people ask what kind of music do you play?
Well, I say that it's modern rock, but it's melodic, and it's mostly also melancholic. But,
yeah, that's true.
But it's I would say, you know, in 3 words, I would say it's melodic modern rock.
Yeah, and the lyrics, they were kind of pretty hard, actually, I think.
Yeah, they are quite in your face in a way. They're not like
that's
very
true. Yeah, that's true. So what do you think was it easy for you to go in the band that plays so different music compared to COB? I mean, like, did you think that you are, or did you need it to be totally different?
Well, to be honest, like I said this in quite a few interviews, that when Children of Bodom was ending, I seriously had no intention of playing music seriously again. I was pretty sure that...
You mean music at all?
Yeah, like, well, maybe at a family party, you know, with the ukulele or something, but I didn't think of that I would actually be serious going to a band and play something, because I've really honestly felt that I always, when we played with Bodom, I was like, this is the only kind of these songs are the things that give me the kicks that I can do this as serious as we are doing, and I wasn't believing that there would be anything else that I would be like inspired in the same way. But then when Bodom ended and these guys contacted me, from the very rough demos, there was something in it that I was like, hold on, I really like these songs, even though this is like super different. And of course I thought about like how can I 25-year metal career, can I just jump into this kind of music? What do people think? But of course pretty soon I was like, yeah, hold on, it's my life.
Yeah, it's your life. You cannot think.
Yeah, of course. But the first that was my first thought.
Yeah, of course.
But then I'm like, hold on, if this music makes me feel good, and I know that these guys are nice and serious about it, maybe I should give it a try.
Yeah, sure, of course.
But of course, like you said, that it's so different. Of course, it was like jumping to a new world. And the biggest thing was that very early we decided that most of the songs should be played with fingers. So that was like another thing. Not only.
I remember you always played with pick.
All 25 years. I couldn't even, I couldn't even play Angel Don't Kill without the pick. So So that was another dimension of this new world I was jumping into. So I had to really learn.
Yeah, you had to rehearse. Yeah. Did you take any lessons or anything?
I took a few lessons from a friend of mine from the States, and that was actually really good that I did. But it's kind of like I've been trying to compare it like what is the equivalent of, for people who don't understand how different it is. The whole instrument feels totally different, even though it's the same instrument as it's always been. So, but that was also very inspiring to you kind of like learn the whole bass in a new way.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah,
that.
and it's still like learning every day. I'm like, God damn it, I need to practice more.
Yeah, that's great. That's great that you have like kind of you took it to the whole new step kind of.
Yeah,
you're playing.
Yeah, it's been really refreshing. Yeah.
Okay, what would you think? Like we have now here teens that are starting their own bands and stuff like that. What would be the most important thing for when you're forming the band? Is it the band chemistry, or what would you say would be the main thing?
Well, that's a good question. Of course, now that you said the chemistry, of course the chemistry is really important, because if you start to play and like how we did in the beginning, we spent a lot of time together. Yeah. Well, actually, you pretty soon you will figure it out if the chemistry is there or not. And then, the ones who cannot take it, they usually leave at that point.
Yeah, I remember that our chemistry, it was based on really, really bad humor.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, and we were also super young. But yeah, chemistry is good. Of course, it's really important. But I think that when you start the band, especially when it's still in a hobby phase, it's pretty fast when those guys who get along, they stay, and those guys who can't take it, then they leave, because it's easier to leave at that point when it's still a hobby.
Yeah, that's true.
And then of course the music has to be something that you enjoy, and you get something out of it.
Yeah, I guess nobody in a heavy metal industry comes in this because of the money. Or else.
The money is wrong.
If you want money, you have to do rap or something.
Yeah, or something totally else. So money is not good thing to think about when you start a band.
Because I remember that, if I've met some young people who asked me about, oh, you drive like that kind of car. Why aren't you driving a Ferrari? No, why would I drive a Ferrari? I don't have that kind of money. And also, it's not the basic thing that drives you forward, the money, And of course, when you play rock or metal, it's kind of thing that comes from your heart, not kind of like the business thing, I think.
It is.
Yeah. Well, do you have any questions right now? Is there someone who wants to ask something?
Suomeksi voi kysyä.
Niin, Tino, tuu vaan tänne piinapenkkiin. Joo, ota se ja sitten pistä se päälle.
Sitten käy vähän miksaamassa ääntä.
Yeah. Is the song? Yeah, I like to ask one thing. You said you played with a pick for majority of your career, and now you're just starting to play with your fingers. What qualities do you think make a great musician or a great bass player?
That's a really good one. That's a really good one. Well, maybe, for example, one of my favorite bass players, even before I played with fingers, was Flea from Chili Peppers. I think as a bass player, he has the quality of bringing the kind of like the very solid, like the foundation for the song, with usually quite simple bass lines. But then he has also the technique to, and also the style to play solos and funny licks or whatever. So I think in him there's a good combination of those qualities, that he can be the bass player to give the foundation, but when it needed, he can be really good and really funny with his kind of like soloing. Because I think also a bass player has to be, especially in my opinion, in metal music, bass player, at least I felt in Children of Bodom that I was kind of like the calming, foundation when everybody else was going crazy.
And you weren't?
Yeah, no, but in a way, and especially the more we made albums, in a way I took my player a little bit more simple every time. Of course I had to keep up with Alex's technique, and of course he was always challenging me with certain riffs, and they were super difficult at times, but still I tried to keep it as simple and as calm as possible.
Lay the foundation.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Well, I have another one if it's okay.
Sure.
What made you pick up the bass and not, for example, drums or guitar or vocals?
Well, that's a good question. Actually, because I played guitar for a few years. And actually, how I got into Children of Bodom was because my band, me and Jaska and Aleksi went to the same school. I was in the 8th grade and those guys were in the 9th grade. And then we had the kevätjuhla, what is it called? The spring, yeah, the ending of the semester party in the school. So then my band was playing there. I was playing guitar and singing, and we played Seasons in the Abyss of Slayer and Refuse Resist by Sepultura. And then Aleksi and Jaska were there because the whole school was watching. And then a few weeks later, Aleksi came to me at a cafe because we knew each other. He was like, "Yeah, do you want to join a good band as a bassist?" And then I was like, "Sure," because of course I knew what band they were talking about. Because then they just lost their bass player Samuli. He left the States. So then he just asked me that if I could, skip the guitar and take a bass and become a bassist. And I was like, "Yeah, sure. I'll just have to go and get a bass from somewhere." But, so that's why. Yeah. So in a way, kind of like coincidence.
Yeah. You had a chance to be a guitar player then.
Yeah, well, he didn't ask me to as a guitar player.
Yeah. But I remember that when you came to rehearsals, and it was really, it was because you had kind of this punk attitude and punk, because you were listening to Sepultura and stuff like that, and they are based on punk.
Yeah.
And I remember that your style was really, heavy. And
yeah, because I came from that background, and you guys were more like King Diamond and Accept or Yngwie Malmsteen. So that was not my. I learned those bands from these guys. So
yeah, sorry about that.
A little bit two different worlds kind of like met.
Yeah. Do you have any questions about like playing in a band or something like that, or playing in a COB or playing in a moonshot or playing in a show or whatever? Please, now is your time.
Suomeksi voi sanoa.
Okei. Nyt voi tulla jotain ihan.
Se on hämärin kautta huonoin keikkamuisto, jos Tavastia 97 ei lasketa?
Hämärin kautta huonoin. No kyllä, do we do it in Finnish or shall I do it in English?
Yeah, he was asking about the worst or the most awkward gig memory.
Okay, if we don't count the Tavastia 97, which
We don't talk about it anymore.
but of course the worst things about being a touring musician is that when you get sick, you still need to play. And few times there's been like, well, I was actually sick quite a lot. I don't know if you remember, but I usually had quite serious like illness on tour. So when you have high fever and your lungs are barely working, it's not fun. But I remember once I had a food poisoning in Barcelona, and then we went to Bergara the next day to Basque Country, and then I had been puking the whole night before that, and then like with zero energy, tried to go on stage and play. Luckily, it was not the headlining set; it was with Primal Fear.
No, yeah, we were supporting.
Yeah.
Primal Fear,
So,
yeah.
but anyway, I remember that. Was it maybe 45-minute set? It felt like so difficult and so long because I had been all night up and puking, and it was just crazy. I wish there was a video recording of that show. I would like to see how I looked and how did I pull it off. But always when you're seriously like sick and you have to still play a show, that's
I remember
that's
actually we
miserable.
had the same experience when we were once in South America. We flew from Mexico to Bogota, Colombia, and I had that same situation, you know. But that's true. You still have to do the show.
Was it that night when there was no toilet backstage?
Yes.
And then and then Janne had also the same stomach flu, and then he had to. Angels Don't Kill.
No. It was Lake Bodom because I remember.
Lake Bodom.
Yeah, the song started, and we were just thinking, where are the kids?
Yeah, because there's a little bit of break from the keyboards after the intro.
Yeah.
So then he tried to go and take a shit in the backstage, but there was no toilet.
Yes.
So then he didn't know what to do, and then he knew he has to come back, and then he just had to shit his pants, and then just kept playing.
But you have to do the show.
Sorry, Janne, if you're watching. But everybody knows.
No. Yeah, everybody knows that story nowadays. Yes. Yeah, that's true. You have to kind of, if you are in a normal job, you can take, leave of absence because of you're sick.
Yeah.
But when you're a musician, you cannot do that.
Exactly.
You have to do the show.
Yeah. And
whatever happens.
In the office, you can probably go to the toilet and take your pants down, do your thing. But when you're on stage, it's hard.
Yes, it is. So, well, that was good question. Do you have any other good questions?
Or bad questions?
Or bad questions?
Talking about Janne, what about him burning on stage? Burning.
Yeah, don't you remember Tampere Pakkahuone when Janne was set on fire? You don't remember that? Oh, okay. You don't remember? We had, the show started, and it was our first time we had some pyrotechnics.
Oh, okay.
And then just before the intro started to play, I said to Janne, isn't that a little bit too close to you, that some kind of bomb thing, And he was like, no. And I was like, why you are wearing a hoodie? We are starting a show. And he said, oh, I'm a little bit cold. And you don't remember this?
No.
We were playing Hate Breeder. And suddenly I see, someone is, just crawling in flames,
Really?
His hoodie was on flame. Yeah, on fire. And next I feel that someone is behind me and grabs me and says, don't move, just play, don't move, don't do anything. And I'm just playing there, Hate Breeder, and watching my body burning there.
So who was holding you? Some crew
It
guy?
was Jussi.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Who was our, what was it, monitor guy
Monitor
back
guy,
then? Yeah. So, but what we didn't know, that it was, planned thing. There was this stunt guy.
Oh, yeah, now I remember.
Yes.
Yeah. Was it all Ari Arvola thing?
Yes.
Yes, of course him. Yes. Yeah, now, yeah.
And after the show, Janne said, "Oh, thank you guys. I'm in flames, and you just keep on playing."
Yeah, now I remember this. No, that's a good one. Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, that's the that was the story back then, you know.
But do you remember in Ilosaari when we played at there's the indoor thing. It's the first night of Ilosaari. It used to be. Do you remember that? Kind of like a small hall.
No.
And then the show started with some song that has the Janne's orc hit. And Janne had the monitor so loud that he fell like with the hit, and then he fell. He fell from the riser like on his back, like at the back of the hall. That I remember.
No, I don't
that
remember.
reminded me of this story.
Okay. So these are the things that might happen in your career also. So any more questions? I don't have any questions here. Is there anyone in chat? If you want to ask something, just pop up the question there, and I will ask it from Henkka.
Okay, Ale is not seeing them.
Nothing here. Oh. Okay, lost a little connection here. No sä voit ne heittää siellä. No, huuda ne vaan, niin mä pysyn.
Mä voin lukea ne vaikka.
No, jos sulla on jossain ne.
No, jos tuolla välissä pystyy katsomaan.
Okay, we're waiting for some questions from the chat.
From
I heard that.
from YouTube chat. Or,
Yeah, YouTube. So, okay.
Now we got.
Oh,
got it.
English, please. Algún recuerdo de Bogotá. Alguna posibilidad de tocar Ida 3 y decir Alec de Boy o... Oh, okay. What do you think of Steve DiGiorgio?
Well, when I first time heard him when he did Individual Thought Patterns of Death, the album, and I was blown away that first of all, how can somebody play so well bass, and then second of all, that how can somebody bring a fretless bass into this technical death metal and then mix it like super high also in the album, and it was a groundbreaking thing.
Yeah, it was.
It
truly,
was.
yeah.
Even though I had also well, actually, what year is Individual Thought Patterns? But anyway, I had the fretless bass in the first demos.
Yes, you had. I remember.
So in a way, I was familiar with the. But yeah, he's a really pioneer bass player in death metal.
Yeah,
Only respect.
I think so too.
Only respect.
Okay. Do you guys still have the original Inearth tapes somewhere?
I've seen at least I've seen Shining and also the Implosion of
Heaven.
Yeah.
But they're in the YouTube, right? So
they are also on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay, what particular bass guitar model with 4 strings do you recommend for playing that raw, tough metal sound?
I don't know. It depends on so many features, I guess. I'm not really like a tech guy. I've never been, but an easy choice would be the Araya model of ESB, for example, because it's built for that.
Do you still play with 4 string?
Yeah.
Okay.
Four strings. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Bodom album? If so, which one?
Well, usually the last one is the best. So I really liked Hext, but then again, I think Kate Crew Death Roll has most of it. It's most like solid. There's all the songs are like really good quality.
Yeah. Okay. I think so too. Like I said, I actually picked the same albums.
Yeah.
Past my era, I think the Hext is best album.
Okay.
Maybe a possible with Ika. Yeah, sure. Of course, we've done that a couple of weeks ago. We played with Ika. Well, how was Moonshot originally for? But you actually answered that question in the beginning. This is for both of us. How do you deal with frustration as a musician?
What kind of frustration?
Well, I can say, for example, when you're getting older, learning new stuff gets harder. So my frustration every now and then comes from, because I can't play. Feels like I could play this like few years ago, but what, so
Okay,
that's
yeah.
kind of, but and when you pick up a guitar or bass or whatever, the kind of the warming up takes more and more time. So you get the same level again. That frustrates me.
Well, maybe now for me, when like we talked earlier, that I had to kind of like learn the whole thing from the beginning now with the fingers. So in a way, I feel that I get better fast in a way, like comparably, relatively, fast, because I'm in a way beginner. And if I practice a lot, then I get better. But of course, then if I listen to Steve DiGiorgio, in a way, it frustrates me a little bit when I hear, like, okay, I have a very long way to go, to be on his level with playing fingers. So in a way, that's a frustration. But then again, when it comes to playing music, there's only one way to get better. It's just by playing, as everybody knows.
Sure. And it was, years ago that I think that I didn't compare myself anymore to others. I just thought that, I play like this and that's it. So exactly. Okay, does Henkka still have his old COB ESP basses?
Yes, of course I have them. Yeah, all of them actually. There was one. Do you remember I don't know where's. Did I have the 5-string, the green one? I think I had it in Heikku Death Roll.
Yeah.
So that was lost for several years, and it was a big joke because we didn't know where it is. But now, like last year, one old crew guy like reminded me, hey, by the way, I have the bass still. I'm like, oh, good, it's you, because it was lost for 5 years. But yeah, I have each one of them still, and I don't play them now because I think they have a different tone and everything. But I still have them. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Very good. Are you religious in any way?
No, not really.
I only believe in myself.
Yeah, I also believe in myself.
Not any higher power.
I also believe in you.
So, okay. If you have some questions, keep them popping up. We have to be really quick. Any questions from the audience here still? Come on. Dino. Okay.
Well, since you brought up ESP, I'd like to ask, when you got endorsed by ESP, did they reach out to you or did you reach out to them?
Children of Bodom got endorsed for ESP quite a long time. Do you actually remember when?
It was before Hate Crew Death Roll, so it has to be 2001, 2, something like that. Yeah.
Actually, I'm not sure, but I would say that they contacted Alexi, and then because you and I were willing to play with ESP very gladly, so then they endorsed the whole band, which was really, really cool thing to do, and ever since they have been super nice for us. All the way.
Yeah, it got something to do with the music store Musamaailma in Helsinki.
Yeah,
they started to import ESP, so it had something to do with that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
because they had also Jackson before.
Yeah, before it was sold to Fender. Yeah.
But yeah, ESP has been like almost 20 years. Like they've been super nice and super friendly and very generous with us, and very grateful that they've been able to play with ESP.
Okay, here is one question from Ilmari. Hello, Ilmari. Nice to have you here. Mitä äijä? Joo. Question for both of you: how did you guys feel when you started to notice that Children of Bodom started to get famous?
Well, it never really felt like that.
Yeah, we never felt like that, and we never thought about it, because I remember that Alexi used to say that, you know, we're just this punk band from Finland,
yeah.
so we are not kind of like real band even.
Yeah.
So
we were like
yeah,
very humble, like maybe sometimes too humble in the beginning, especially. But of course, you know, the first years were quite punk. You know,
yes,
they were not very glamorous.
Yeah.
And you know, the pay, there was no pay. You know, I remember this one vappukiertue we did, and then we got the paycheck. It was less than five mark.
It was three
Finnish marks.
Finnish marks, yeah.
And then it said
which is like 50 cents.
Then it said in the end it said that we don't transfer anything less 5 markka. I was like, okay,
yeah,
that was a good tour.
It was really good tour. And actually, I remember we did 3 shows around Finland. Here,
Yeah.
You know,
So it's one mark each.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
But yeah, how did it feel when we started getting famous? Well, maybe at some point then, maybe already in Hate Crew Death Roll times when we were touring Europe, especially in Southern Europe, when the bus was, for example, parked at the venue, there might be some fans waiting even before we would wake up. Those were kind of like the moments then you realize, hold on, these guys are actually really into us, that they're actually waiting there before we are even like waking up.
They like what we do. They like the music, and they you know, meet us. I remember that. Yeah, that's true.
But that kind of that's kind of like nice famous, because they are so sincerely like into the music.
Yeah, that's true. So we have few questions still. For Henkka, what gave you inspiration to keep playing when you were first starting?
That's a really good question. I remember when. What could it be? I remember the moment when I asked my mom that I would really love to have an electric guitar, and then she said that, yeah, maybe I can buy you some cheap one. I'm not going to spend a lot of money in it because I know you're going to get bored of it very soon anyway. And I'm like, yeah, sure. But I remember the moment when I got it, but I don't exactly remember what. But the first things I started to learn were like, well, Guns N' Roses and then pretty soon Rust in Peace. I remember I had the Rust in Peace, Megadeth Rust in Peace, the notebook, and I was, you know, practicing Tornado of Souls and also Holy Wars at the beginning, and I think then, you know, playing those and then seeing like those guys, also Sepultura and Slayer, and seeing those guys live. I didn't see them live, but I saw them, you know, in music videos, and then pretty soon I had a small band, so then it was easy to just, you know, start playing with the guys, and, you know, first play the covers, and then pretty soon I was invited to play with these guys. So yeah, those simple things.
Yeah. Okay. Well, few questions. Okay. There was a rumor that something wild. There was one song remained unpublished. Yeah.
Yes.
There is. Yeah.
There is.
And Anssi will publish it someday. Perhaps, I don't know. Okay. Would you do a meet and greet with only me and my friends in Sweden if paid you enough money? Yes. Well, I wouldn't see any point in that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I would do it for free for a lot of people if they have questions.
But yeah, regarding that song in Something Wild, Talking of the Trees, it was recorded. Was it even mastered?
I think, yeah.
At least it was mixed.
Yeah.
And then for some reason it was skipped from the real master.
Why.
I think it was kind of like, it reminded maybe like the older days. I think it was.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because it was in a demo.
It was on the demo. Yeah. So then we skipped it, and yeah, I think those files or tapes are still somewhere. But we have been thinking about it because a lot of people ask about it. But it would be really complicated to do it, like when it comes to legal things, so it will probably take a lot of time to investigate if it could be.
Anthony didn't it become Towards Dead End? No, actually, it was totally different song.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in the Towards Dead End, there was some parts from the demo. But it was totally different song.
No, but I think Mask of Sanity has some parts from this Talking of the Trees.
Oh, yeah, might be.
The C part.
Iikka, is it? Iikka is the guy who knows everything about COP.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah,
Ding,
that's
ding,
true.
ding, ding.
Yeah.
I think that's from Talking of the Trees. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Any bands from South American that you like?
South America. Well, of course, Sepultura.
And actually, everything that Max Cavalera has done is very good, actually.
Yeah, well, I haven't been really following Soulfly, but the first Soulfly was really, really good. And actually, I haven't heard the Cavalera Conspiracy.
The first album is brilliant.
Okay,
You should
yeah.
listen to it. Yeah. Is the musical education in Finland some special because so many young talents come from there?
Yeah, we have this.
Yeah, we
This
have
feature
very, very good musical education system here in Finland. Yeah.
Yeah,
And of course, here with Rock Camp, we have done now we have had really good results. Should get some water. Okay.
but yeah, Finland is known for having good musical education.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Yeah. Apart from Sepultura.
Yeah, apart from Sepultura.
Isn't Crisium from Brazil?
Crisium.
Yeah. Help me, please. Crisium from Brazil, is it? Or is it from Greece? I don't know. Brazil. Yeah. There's Matias there.
Well, Angra,
Angra.
Kiko's old band.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Also
Yeah.
Brazilian.
Yeah.
But
But do you remember we received a lot of demos from Mexican bands and bands from when we were touring. They were giving cassettes and CDs
yeah.
back then. I still have those cassettes
Okay.
in my warehouse, So perhaps something has come out of them also.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any questions still? We have to
Wrap it up.
wrap it up soon. No, nothing. Come on.
Even I don't have anything.
Well, I have one
Yeah, go ahead.
question. You've done this a lot of years. Do you still get nervous before gigs or live performances?
Yeah, well, with Children of Bodom for the first 15 years, yes, every show I remember it was like a physical bad feeling, which was not nice at all. But then usually the moment when you go on stage, the first note you play, then it's gone. But then at certain point we reached the level that we felt confident with playing, and also we felt also confident that there would be enough Children of Bodom fans that we would know that the show would be fun. So then in a way the nervousness kind of like faded towards the end of the career. But now with the new instrument and new band, of course, then the nervousness is now back. So, but I think the nervousness is good. It's a good thing to have. As you just have to be a friend with it. Don't be afraid of it. Try to enjoy because the nervousness is there for a reason, and it will pump you for a better show.
Yeah, and of course mistakes belong to music
Yeah.
anyway also.
Yeah.
So you just it's better to put up a good show than all the time just play there and be afraid of the mistakes. Yeah. So do you still keep in touch with Jaska, Daniel and Janne? Of course.
Yes.
Like you saw on Wednesday.
Yeah.
right?
Jaska and Janne a lot, and Daniel also. Yeah.
Okay. Well, no more questions here. Or is it jammed again?
I think I have to also move back to the venue.
Yeah. Okay. So we have to now wrap it up because you have a gig in 45 minutes. Yeah. Right. Okay. So I wish you good luck. I'm gonna come there and see
Yes.
your show.
Thanks.
And enjoy your playing with fingers.
Thanks. More nervous?
No. Okay, and thanks everyone watching this. Thank you for everyone for being here, and that's it. Okay,
Thanks.
till next time.
Thanks guys. Kiitos.